It's time to get personal with personal pronouns in Portuguese. Hi guys, my name is Simpleton and... Sorry. For a moment there, I was possessed by the spirit of someone with a lot more talent to make popular YouTube videos. Back to normal. Personal pronouns in Portuguese work like they do in English with two exceptions. I'll start by listing them all and we'll get to the exceptions after that. Eu, I, tu, you, ele, he, ela, she, nós, we, vós, you, eles, they, elas. They. Notice something missing and something extra? As you can see, there are two pronouns that both translate as they. Since you already know about noun gender in Portuguese, it won't surprise you too much that they also changes according to gender. Eles, when you refer to a group of masculine beings, and elas, when you refer to a group of feminine beings. Simple. Or is it? You're probably seeing the problem, aren't you? What if there are both masculine and feminine elements included in the they, you ask? Like men and women in the same group. What happens then? Well, in that case, you use the masculine pronoun. A group of men, eles. A group of women, elas. A group of men and women, eles. This may be linguistic chauvinism, but I didn't make the rules. That's just how it is. And yes, even if we're talking about a group of 200 women, elas, the arrival of a single man is enough to change the pronoun to eles. As for the missing pronoun, because there is no neutral gender in Portuguese, there is also no it. This constitutes a problem when forming a specific kind of sentence that is common in English. In the following examples, é is the third person singular of the verb to be. We'll get to that later. Maria is tall. She is tall. A Maria é alta. Ela é alta. João is fast. He is fast. O João é rápido. Ele é rápido. The cake is sweet. It is sweet. O bolo é doce. It doesn't really feel right saying the second part, because bolo is a masculine noun, o bolo. Nothing should prevent us from using the masculine personal pronoun and say, o bolo é doce, ele é doce. But that would sound bad. Although it can happen sometimes, try to save ele and ela for people or animals, or for anthropomorphic objects in fairy tales. The second person singular, tu, you, changes according to how familiar you are with the person you're speaking to. You use tu only when talking to a friend, a family member, a work colleague, a child, or a teenager. When more formality is required, replace tu with o senhor, a senhora. These words mean Mr., Madam, and when addressing people, you use them with a definite article and always with a verb in the third person singular instead of the second. We haven't discussed verbs yet, so just try to remember this. Tu és português. You are Portuguese, informal. O senhor é português. You are Portuguese, masculine formal. A senhora é portuguesa. You are Portuguese, feminine formal. Senhor and senhora can sometimes be replaced with a person's professional title in formal speech. Professor, professora, professor, and doutor, doutora, doctor are common examples. Tu queres copo de água? Do you want a glass of water? Informal. O senhor quer copo de água? Do you want a glass of water? Masculine, formal. A professora quer copo de água? Do you, professor, want a glass of water? Feminine, formal. O doutor quer copo de água? Do you, doctor, want a glass of water? Masculine, formal. There is an intermediate level of formality between tu and o senhor, a senhora. It is the word você, also used with verbs in the third person singular instead of the second. However, be aware that in current European Portuguese, it has fallen into disuse, and some people may consider it condescending when they are addressed this way. Você quer copo de água? Do you want a glass of water? Semi-formal. The fun continues in the second person plural pronoun. While in English you is both singular and plural, in Portuguese the plural counterpart of tu, you, used to address more than one person is vós, or it would be. Vós is currently used only in northern Portugal, and even there it is becoming less and less common. In the rest of the country it has been abandoned entirely. My advice would be that you never use it unless you want to pretend you're a visitor from the Middle Ages, which would be an amazing thing to do. Instead of vós, vocês is commonly used. As you probably guessed, this is the plural of você, but unlike você, it doesn't have any depreciatory connotations when used in the plural. It is, however, informal. When addressing two or more people formally, you should use the plural of the formal words you learned before. Os senhores, as senhoras. You can even use os professores, as professoras, os doutores, as doutoras, if you ever find yourself addressing a room full of professors or doctors. Both vocês and os senhores, as senhoras are used with the third person plural of the verb and not the second. Vocês são portugueses. You, informal plural, are Portuguese. As senhoras são portuguesas. You, feminine formal plural, are Portuguese. What if I told you that many times you don't have to use personal pronouns at all? Would you hate me for wasting your time? Don't. Personal pronouns are something you need to know. They are used when conjugating verbs, for example, and are still used frequently in common speech. It works like this. Eu fui à praia. I went to the beach. Nós fomos à praia. We went to the beach. Both these sentences are correct, but they sound a lot more natural like this. Fui à praia. I went to the beach. Fomos à praia. We went to the beach. And some of our previous examples according to this rule. És português. You are Portuguese. Informal. Queres copo de água? Do you want a glass of water? Informal. In English, you can't do this because most verbs are the same no matter who speaks. In Portuguese, you can tell who is speaking just by looking at the verb, so the inclusion of the personal pronoun is redundant. You use personal pronouns when you want to make a sentence clearer or to add emphasis. O João não está aqui. Foi à praia. João is not here. He went to the beach. We can't say that o João não está aqui, ele foi à praia would be wrong, but it doesn't sound natural. O João foi à praia, mas eu fui ao parque. João went to the beach, but I went to the park. O João e eu fomos à praia. Ele foi de manhã e eu fui à tarde. João and I went to the beach. He went in the morning and I went in the afternoon. In these two examples, you can see how the pronoun is used for emphasis and clarification. To end the video, here's a dialogue. Quem é este João, afinal? Who is this João, after all? Não sei, mas parece uma pessoa interessante. I don't know, but he sounds like an interesting person.